meat that I've been craving. And in this case, we're getting you ready for the holidays. We're starting to think about people are coming over, people are staying with us, we're entertaining. What do we need to get? Well, the Rastelli family is a locally owned butcher shop in New Jersey. Ray Rastelli, has been a butcher for more than 43 years.
That's correct.
They actually supply not only some of the most high-end restaurants in the country with their meat, there's only one 7-star Michelin-ranked restaurant in the world, and that's Dubai. They get their meat from Ray Rastelli. So then kind of when you start thinking about, okay, I want to celebrate what's the best cut of meat, you start thinking ribeye, you start thinking Black Angus, and then you start thinking dry-aged. Everything that I just said is included in this cut of beef. You're getting 10 ounces each, 10 of them in total for around $13 a steak, which if you went to the grocery store right now to give me dry-aged Black Angus ribeye, there is no grocer in the world that would give you this cut of meat for that price. You've got auto delivery every 4 months. What do you like about this cut of meat?
For me, it's the marbling. Anytime you have a ribeye, you're going to have that perfect marbleization on the inside. We call it meat candy.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to give you that delicious flavor.
Meat candy.
And you have the best part of the meat right here. A prime rib is the most expensive roast that you're going to get. And I just want to show you where these steaks are coming from.
This is what it looks like in the case.
So
and what it's going to look like at your door.
That is correct. This is what's actually coming to your house. So what Mr. Rastelli does is he takes the whole prime, takes it off the bone, takes the excess fat away, but leaves just enough on the top so when you pan sear this, or if you roast it in the oven, you do get that beautiful flavor. But that's what we look for to answer your question, that beautiful marbling that you see in the meat. And then for me in the prime rib, this is called the cap or the decal. That's my favorite part of the prime rib. I always save it to the end. It's the most tender. That's my favorite part.
Well, and to me, it's the most juicy because you've got that little edge of fat marbling in there that with all the steak au jus, you get to re-dip back in there. Now, they ship individually packaged to your door.
That's correct.
But the other cool thing that I want to talk about is when you look at this, you think, how in the world is it dry-aged? And why do I want a dry-aged steak as opposed to just a regular steak?
Well, what's great about this is you always start with the best ingredients. This is Black Angus. My opinion, the best beef on the planet. And Mr. Rastelli actually works with the same farmers that he's been working with for over 40 years. They're small ranchers out in the Midwest. So this is Midwestern, Black Angus, but more importantly, we age it for 28 days, so it locks in all that natural flavor. The enzymes tenderize the beef. When you taste this, it's like when you had a steak back, well, I'll give my age away, back in the early 60s.
Okay.
When beef, to me, tasted like beef.
Yes.
That's exactly what this is.
Well, but I think it gets tricky nowadays to know where does it come from? Where do you get it? What's the flavor? How do I know it's good? And you won't ever have to question that when you bring home a Rastelli market fresh cut of meat. And what a great way as the year is coming to an end and you want to celebrate in a big way. Not only is it a big way in terms of what you see on your plate, but it's the steak that when you go out to a restaurant, you aren't ever paying $13 for a ribeye. It's more like 3 or 4 times that price.
It usually says MP for market price, which means you're going to pay for it. But I just want you to notice something. This steak's probably cooked to about 145, so it's a medium well. You can still see the amount of juice that's inside the meat. So every single beautiful steak is going to be jam-packed with flavor. And these are 10-ounce steaks. I'm going to show off something, okay?
Okay.
I just cut the steak in half. So I'm going to place this one up in the front. I'm going to take this half and put it on the back. If you were to split this meal with your hubby or your friends, you can get 2 meals off of each steak that you're going to serve. What do you think of the flavor?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you why I'm such a big fan of the flavor. That marbling that's there on the inside, while you chew, you get those juices running through each chew. It doesn't just happen the first bite that you take. You get to enjoy it the entire time. The other thing that I've been a big fan about with the Rastelli steaks is we will grab these over, the holidays or really any time throughout the year because the price is so fabulous, especially if my in-laws are coming. I like between rare and medium rare steak. My mother-in-law loves a very well done and then cook it for 2 more minutes kind of steak. And then my husband's medium well, his dad is medium. And so it's kind of nice that the flavor's not ever compromised based off how you cook it, nor the tenderness.
That is correct. And I'll tell you something special about these. I remember cooking these for Vivian the first time.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, she says, "What's the special occasion?" And I just looked at her and said, you're home.
Yeah, we're
You're here. So
here.
every day is a special occasion when you start with the best of the best. Again, blank Angus meat, you can see just how tender it is, but more importantly, look at those juices flowing.
And 10 ounces is such a perfect portion.
I agree.
think if you're going to go spend the holiday somewhere for Thanksgiving, why don't you do the bill to ship to? We take care of everything for you. You think about the Saturday night after Thanksgiving before everybody's about to go home and wrap up. 10 ounces with your leftover Thanksgiving sides, perfect way to say thank you.
Absolutely. And I just want to
Take
show
another
this off.
little bite.
This is fork tender. I'll cut that down for you because I know you like to take TV bites.
Ooh.
But look at that. When we say fork tender, we really mean fork tender.
I mean, that is just
so
good.
delicious. And you know what? Let me do something
Now,
for you
how
too.
do you season this? Does this come with any seasoning?
It comes with the seasoning pack, which is the Rastelli's family secret for
Okay.
over 40 years. This actually comes with it. Let me give a little tip to everybody. I'm just going to grab some of my fingers. I'm going to go over to the steak right here.
Sure.
This is all you literally need. Just a little sprinkle over the top. That spice and salt will bring out all that natural flavor.
Yeah.
It enhances the flavor of the beef so you don't have to douse it in it.
Perfect.
Another thing is you can cook these any way you like. Saute them in a pan, throw them in your air fryer. If you defrost these, which is how I suggest, and I'll talk about that in a second,
Sure.
they'll cook in an air fryer in 6 to 8 minutes depending on how well you
Wow.
want. So
And then you'll get that little crisp on the outside
That's
without
correct.
having to over salt it. I just want to show you, you're getting 10-ounce ribeye steaks that have been dry aged 28 days before they even get to you. You're also getting a beautiful cut of ribeye steak meat, which has that marbling in between that Chef Tony has dubbed as meat candy. And
Yes.
I tend to agree because it is that good. They stay fresh in your freezer for how long?
for 1 year.
1 year.
And this is how they come packaged, so you know. So when you get them home, they'll come in a pack, in a box like this with 10 of them. Take one out, put it in the fridge the night before, or if you're stuck for time, you can put the whole package in cold water. They'll defrost in 20 minutes. Then you take it out of the pack, and here's a little secret. Let the meat sit on its plate outside for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
You really don't want to cook it ice cold.
So room
You want
temp.
everything to kind of relax and kind of get ready.
Like
and then in a
us.
nice, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Little wine.
Yes.
You can even put a little wine with this with some mushroom, a little demi-glaze.
Nice.
Hello.
Can I borrow that for just
Yeah,
one
please
second?
do.
Because I just want to show you this. If you were to go to a store and you didn't know that this was Rastelli's right now, if you even got this from a grocery store or a butcher, right, which probably has some pretty great pricing, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but this would probably be twice as much as $13 a steak, right? And that would be
Absolutely.
a great price. And what would make it special, because you got it, from a butcher or a grocery store, you go out to dinner, it's 3 and 4 times the price, and yet you don't have the comforts of home. You don't get to stay and talk as long as you want to. You don't have your favorite side dishes that everybody's been working all day to create because it's what they're known for. This is the Rastelli cut of beef that when you think about celebrating the holidays in a big way, what a good way to do
You know what I
it.
gave you, right? That's the decal. That's the cap. And that's
That
the
is
look.
so good.
That's the look.
Do you know what I think it is? It's the texture that you can taste with every bite, and you get that explosion of the fat marbling that comes through almost like butter.
Yes, but if you notice something, it's not greasy.
No.
So again, because they're aged and it's
Can
a
I have
28
one
day.
more?
Of course,
One more bite of that.
this is your show. You could have anything
Thank
you want.
I hate to be demanding. But
Here you go.
do you want to try some? Katie, do you want to come here and try some? It's the last.
Hi, Katie.
It's the last part of the steak that you should eat, and it's the best. It's where all the meat candy is.
It smells delicious in here, may I say.
How you
It's
doing?
so
Good to
good.
see you.
Hi, Chef
So I got
Tony.
2 pieces for you.
Okay.
Here's the main part of the prime
Here's the
rib
pork, Katie.
of that
Thanks,
ribeye.
You're welcome.
And then that's the cap right there. So have fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the getting's good.
Just
Oh,
a little,
you always save that for last.
itty little bit of spice. Now that's plain. No spices on it, just the beef itself.
It doesn't even need anything.
Doesn't
That's
it
the
just
best
warm
part.
your soul?
It makes my heart dance.
Thank
I know.
you.
A pitter patter,
But
if
wait,
you will.
another bite?
You
An
can.
explosion of taste that just makes you smile on the inside and then on the outside.
And that's the difference.
That's the cap. That's the decal.
I know.
My favorite part.
My eyes are fluttering.
I know.
It's so
You're like, why do I not eat something like this every day of
Why
my
do
life?
I not come in